YouTube, and welcome to another edition of the Movie Zone with your host, the Doctor of Movies, where I talk about movie reviews, movie trailer reviews, anything that has to do with movies. And last night, a trailer, literally just dropped in our doorstep, basically. Came knocking on our door. If you can tell what I'm wearing over here, it's the trailer for Batman vs. Superman. Teaser trailer number 1. Alright, so basically this trailer was supposed to drop on Monday in front of IMAX, but since a lot of people were going crazy over the new Star Wars trailer, which you have to check out, and you can check out my review about that one and my other video, it got leaked online. So apparently DC was like, you know what, let's just drop the trailer now, because honestly I don't think nobody's talking about Marvel right now. I mean, everybody can't wait to see the Avengers, but right now everybody's talking about Star Wars and now the new Batman vs. Superman trailer. So let's talk about this trailer, shall we? Alright, so in this trailer, it basically starts off with a bunch of voices talking, and then it shows Superman. And it looks like he's dealing with a lot of issues, because a lot of people are still blaming him for what happened in the end of Man of Steel, where him and Zod were fighting and half of Metropolis was destroyed. And other sides of the world, they are worshiping him as a god that he is. Now, in the trailer, you see people, talking in the background. You don't know who it is. Some people are saying, protesting, and there are news broadcasts talking about should he save us, or should he just go away? And a lot of protests are saying go home, go home. And then you see a statue in in the middle of a square. It looks like it could be Metropolis. And in the statue is basically Superman kneeling down, and then his Superman chest has graffiti sprayed false god. But then also you do hear Lex Luthor, played by Jesse Eisenberg, who basically says that gods don't come from hell from the ground, they come from the sky, which means that the tone of Jesse Eisenberg, what he's given as Lex Luthor, looks like he's going to be really dark and evil, like a different Lex Luthor we've never seen on the screen. I mean, we had Lex Luthor in the past, but he was more like, he wasn't as evil as he's supposed to be, because Lex Luthor is one of the most evil supervillains in the DC universe. He's only second to the Joker, in my opinion, of course. They are the two best. And so basically it just shows some shots, basically Superman, seeing the public, and then people are worshiping him. Like, they see a god, they see, it's like seeing Jesus or something. Like, they see him and they bow down to him. And Superman looks like he doesn't want that. He just wants to be there to help. He doesn't want to be seen as a god, even though he is a god among them. But he doesn't want to be seen. And then in one shot, you see him in the air, floating, and somebody's reaching to him. And that just shows how some of the people are really, really believing in him. It also shows another shot of him. He comes down to this tunnel, and it looks like these SWAT people, maybe the cops or something. They kneeling before him, or maybe they're government agents. I don't know, because it makes it look like that he's working with the government. Because the way that they're making this movie is taking reference from the comic book The Dark Knight Returns, where Superman basically works for the government to try to stop Batman, because Batman's gone, becoming a vigilante and basically beating the hell out of criminals. And I'll get to Batman in a second, but before I do that, I want to talk more about Superman and how he really looks jacked up. I mean, there's a shot of him. It kind of looks, this is really going with CG a lot. I mean, Zack Snyder likes to use CG a lot, but he doesn't use it in a way that makes it look corny. It looks really good. He knows how to use the camera angles a lot, like how he did with 300. I thought that was visually awesome. And even with The Watchmen, a lot of people would say that The Watchmen was one of the best graphic novel adaptations to go to the big screen, even though some people say it was a bad movie, but I personally thought it was okay. But the visuals, the way he made it, was awesome, so I can't wait to see what he does with this one. And basically now, Superman, he's in the shot, he's holding up what it looks like to be a rocket. I don't know if it's a satellite, or maybe just a rocket ship that fell off. and you really see the muscles on Superman. Because remember, Superman is Superman. Superman would beat anybody. There's nobody in the Marvel universe, DC universe can beat him. Except this one. That's a different story. Basically, it just shows that, you know, this is going to be a Superman that's supposed to be like in the comics where Superman is Superman. And I like that a lot. So let's see what happens. Then it goes to a shot of Ben Affleck as Batman, and he's listening to Jerry Irons, who plays Alfred, telling him that, listen, if you go down this path, it turns good men into cruel men. And, you know, Ben Affleck's got that expression on his face, like, because he's supposed to be retired. I believe this is what they tell him. You know, they're saying about the story, like, he's supposed to be retired, and now he has to come back due to the fact that Superman now is in the planet, and a lot of people don't know what to think about him. Either he's good or he's bad, or what his scheme is. So I'm pretty sure that Superman doesn't want to believe, doesn't want, you know, people to believe that he's bad. He wants people to believe that he's good. But I'm thinking Batman's probably like, wait a minute, so this guy could be a threat. So maybe I should come back to stop him, because he looks like, in his face expression, looks like, I don't know if I should do this, because if I come back as Batman again, because it looks like he's been retired for years. Because it looks like, you know, maybe in the events of Man of Steel, he was already retired. I'm pretty sure when we get the new Joker, we'll get, you know, some explanation of why he's retired. Maybe the Joker, you know, pushed him to his limit too much. Maybe one of the Robins did die. Because, you know, in the comic book, Robin, I'm not sure if Robin's in the movie, but in the comic book, the second Robin, Jason Todd, he dies by the hand of the Joker. So maybe something has to do something with that. I don't know. But honestly, I think Batman's thinking in his mind, alright, if I come back, then chaos is going to happen. And pretty sure all my villains are going to want to come out of retirement. Like a certain Joker might want to come out of retirement so cause more trouble. But, you know, he's going to be in the Suicide Squad movie, so maybe that sets up all this. But that's for another story. But yeah, Ben Affleck as Batman, I'm like 100% in with him. Because, dude, it's huge. You see a shot of, if you watch this trailer on YouTube right now, there's a shot of Batman coming out like a wreck. I don't know if I guess the Batwing, because there's a shot also before that where looks like a plane, you know, flying down and shooting guns at some criminals, and then you see the Batmobile, and then it shows another shot where Batman comes out of this, you know, this wreck, whatever wreck he's in. And dude is huge. That's how Batman's supposed to be. Batman is huge. Remember, he has no powers, no nothing. He's got his mind, his gadgets, and of course his muscles. Because remember, Batman works out a lot. He knows every martial arts that's ever been, you know, invented. He goes all over the world to make sure he knows every single one of it. And the dude is huge. I even like the costume. The costume is not black like this. It's supposed to be, you know, the gray, like how he was in the Dark Knight Returns comic book. I like that a lot. That looks cool. And Ben Affleck, he looks big. And this tone of this movie looks really dark for what it is. And I like that a lot. So then it goes to, you know, shot of the symbol of Batman vs Superman. And then it goes to a shot where Batman is looking up. And you actually hear Batman speak for the first time. So you get to hear the voice. He looks up in the sky. And this was from the Comic-Con teaser trailer they gave us last year, where Batman puts on the bat signal, and he looks up in the sky, and he's got this big armor-looking thing on. Because in the comic book, Batman builds this armor to take on Superman. So he's got this armor on. He's got the white glowing eyes. He looks up in the sky. He looks at Superman. Superman is looks like he's really getting annoyed with all this nonsense where people are either worshiping him or calling him a criminal. So he looks at Superman, and Batman says, "Do you bleed?" And then Superman just swoops down, and then he goes, "You will." But the way he said it was more of like, he has like a voice changer, which I think is pretty cool, because if anybody watches TV or watches The Arrow or even, you know, The Flash, they use like voice changes in their thing. I mean, The Flash, of course, he vibrates his voice to make it sound different. But in Arrow, he does that too. And I think it works for Batman, because honestly, Batman's going to have his mask on, but yet if you hear his voice, you can tell who he is. I mean, there are moments where if you watch the Dark Knight or the Batman Begins, you hear Christian Bale doing that grouchy voice, you can still hear it's Christian Bale, and you can still say that, oh wait, this is Bruce Wayne, I know who you are, even when he's got the mask on. That's why Batman should be wearing some kind of device to, really disguise his voice. Because honestly, nobody's going to recognize him as Batman. The only person who's going to know who he's Bruce Wayne is Superman, because he's probably going to use his X-ray vision to look through his mask. Which I think would be cool and kind of cheating, but, whatever. If they do that in the movie, it'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I think it looks great. I mean, it's just a first teaser, so it didn't really show too much. But just that first line, meaning that, do you bleed? And then he just comes down and he says, you will. That just sends the gauntlet down. That just says, you know what, let's just do this now. Let's just fight. Let's see what happens. And if we all end up friends at the end, let's just move on. But yeah, this is going to be the fight of the century when it comes to next year. Because it comes out on next March 27th, 2016. I know it's a year away, but still. I think it's going to be great. I can't wait to see it. But for a first teaser, trailer, I liked it and I didn't like it for parts because it didn't really show too much. But then it gave us enough to see what the tone is of this movie. So I liked it a lot. It has its moments where it's like, it looks like maybe the CG may be too much, but they probably will fix that up once the movie gets closer. But yeah, I think it's going to be great. I can't wait. Batman vs. Superman is going to be awesome due to the fact that we're finally getting Batman and Superman in one movie. That just blows any Avenger movie out of the water. Now, granted, it could suck. It could be totally horrible. And it could be one of the worst movies ever. It can make the George Clooney Batman movie look awesome, for all we know. We don't know. Nobody's seen the movie yet, except maybe the people who made it have probably seen it already. But yeah, if this ends up being awesome, I think DC can, skip ahead a couple of times just to really catch up to Marvel. Because Marvel's already halfway across the finish line anyway. But, if this works and it's successful, they pretty much caught up. And then we got Wonder Woman coming out. I mean, I'm pretty sure, I'm kind of glad they didn't show Wonder Woman so early because people are really more nervous about Ben Affleck being Batman because after what happened with how successful the Dark Knight trilogy is, who's going to top Christian Bale? I mean, nobody even thought, nobody even thought Christian Bale will even top Michael Keaton as Batman. I personally think Michael Keaton's the best Batman. And I think Christian Bale's the best Bruce Wayne. So far, we don't know. We have to wait to see what Ben Affleck is all about. But I believe in him. I think he can do it. He can't be any worse than George Clooney is. I mean, George Clooney's a great actor, but, when it comes to Batman, Anyway, I think it's great. I can't wait to see it. If I have to give it a score right now, it's going to be hard to say this, but I'm going to give this trailer an 8 due to the fact it didn't really show too much. But you know what? That's okay. At least, it gave us a taste of what is coming. So, we can be excited. But yeah, I mean, honestly, out of what trailers I've just seen over the, the course of 2 days, so far, the Star Wars trailer is still number 1. This is number 2. I mean, if they come out tomorrow with the X-Men Apocalypse teaser, that's a different story. But yeah, I doubt that will happen because we still have a year away from that, or even the Deadpool. But yeah, we still got great movies coming out next year. We still got great movies coming out this year. It should be a lot of fun. And as always, if you want to see more, click right here to see more. And you can check out my other videos. Check out my Star Wars review of the teaser trailer because it's awesome. Go watch that trailer. Go watch the Batman vs. Superman trailer. Let me know what you think. Which team are you on? You Team Batman or Team Superman? So let's talk about this, shall we? And thank you and have a good day.